First item on the agenda, E, is the superintendent's report.
Mr. President, members of the board, guests that are present tonight, thank you for being here. We have had a really good start to the school year, and very proud of all of our student accomplishments, everything that our programs and the different activities that our kids are involved in, everything that they're accomplishing. And so we're looking forward as the fall continues to continue to experience good student success. Everyone knows that we're an A-rated district, and we want to keep that rating in place. And so we're working hard towards that for the 2022-23 school year. We've got construction right around the corner. We are finalizing. I think we've almost got the site plan figured out exactly where the new campus is going to be built. Still tweaking, working on floor plan before we bring that before the board and for the public to see. But excited about that as that program continues to get started. So looking forward to that as we go along. We also have some special guests here tonight from Caring and Sharing that I'd like to recognize here this evening. We got Roy and Beth Shockey and also Kevin White to make a presentation on behalf of Caring and Sharing to our campuses. So, Roy.
Well, every year we, Caring and Sharing devotes itself to Mineola ISD around Christmas time, but we also like to give money directly to each campus, $500 to each campus. One of you guys want to be in the picture? We got a big check. I think CMD will cash this. We have a great school district here and a great bunch of kids. This is the actual.
Those are the little checks that CMB will cash.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce Mineola Primary School Students of the Month, Ms. Ava Arbiter and Mr. Jace Blackwell. We have had the honor of having both of these students at Mineola Primary School since kindergarten. They both strive every day to show excellence in leadership as well as a hard work ethic. Ms. Ava Arbiter is a second grade student in Mrs. Lehman's class, and she's the daughter of John and Erlinda Arbiter. Ava is a leader on our campus, one others look to for advice, and shows friendship to everyone. Her teacher shares that Ava is a pleasure to have in my classroom. She is responsible, kind, smart, and helpful. Every day Ava comes to school with a smile on her face, and she smiles all day long, beautiful smile. Is always eager to problem solve and work with all of her classmates on a daily basis. And Mr. Jace Blackwell is a second grade student in Mrs. Nuts and Mrs. Dusick's class. He's the son of Luke and Ashley Blackwell. Jace is the calm on our campus, the standard of perseverance, and a leader for all of us. His teachers share that Jace is being recognized as Student of the Month because he exemplifies leadership in the classroom by showing respect, courage, and following directions. His joy for learning and participating is contagious for all of us, and his effort for excellent work and overcoming challenges is admired on a daily basis, and we are so thankful Jace is in our school family. Ms. Ava Arbiter and Mr. Jace Blackwell.
Go. Good evening. I am so happy to introduce to you Mr. C.J. Hunter and Miss Greenlee Harrington. They are students of the month. These fifth graders are special to me because they were third graders when I first came into the district, so to be able to watch them grow and learn over their time at the elementary has been really fun. Both of these students exemplify our character trait of this month for EAFK, which is respect. CJ is in Miss Connor's class, and she wrote, CJ is an all-around great kid. He is always kind, always respectful, and always helpful. He is insightful and has a twinkle in his eye when he speaks. He takes care of his own needs, but is always willing to work with others. And then Greenlee is a student in Miss Collins' class, and she wrote that Greenlee is always kind and helpful to everyone in class. She is a leader in the classroom and works hard at everything she puts her mind to. So I'm so proud to present these two students as our Students of the Month. Okay, good job, guys. We are proud to recognize our sixth graders as Students of the Month. So I'm going to introduce you to Riggin Smith first. His parents are Ginger and Jesse Smith. His teachers selected him because he is very conscientious of those around him and is helpful and supportive. He is a hard worker and very respectful and polite. He is a joy to work with in the classroom. When I talked to Riggin, he said his favorite part of middle school was being more independent and having more responsibility by not having to walk in lines and getting to sit where you want to in the cafeteria. Where is it? His favorite class is ELAR because he likes Miss Stillman because she makes him feel confident that he will be successful. Riggin would like to be a game warden when he grows up because he likes the outdoors and fishing and hunting. He wants to join FFA in the 8th grade, and he would also like to be a future Aggie and go to A&M. This is Kiara Kalamahoy. Her parents are Calvin Joy and Larry Bushnell. Her teachers selected her because she shows great initiative and works very hard at everything she does. She is also an excellent helper in class. Kiara's favorite class is art because she likes to be creative and she learns a lot from Miss Morgan. She also enjoys band and looks forward to marching in the high school band. She is thinking about being a lawyer when she grows up, and when I asked her why, she says she's good at persuading others. She hasn't decided on what university she would like to attend, but she has a lot of time to make that decision, so we're good with that. So these are our 6th grade Students of the Month. We're very proud of them.
Come on up, high school. Man, it cleared out, didn't it? That's fine. Our Students of the Month for September are freshmen. They've been at the high school all of 1 month, and so it's a brand new world to them, but it is interesting when you sit them down and talk to them to see what it is they enjoy. Our Students of the Month are Alexander Lualua and Destiny Gandy. Alexander told me that what he likes to do most in school, as far as an extension of the daily work, is to be involved in UIL programs, our academic programs, such as Number Sense, which he's been doing since the 5th grade. He also wants to be a part of the calculator skills and studies, social studies group that he started in the 8th grade. Outside of school, he's a gamer, loves to play, And when time allows and he can, he'll go watch the new movies that come out that interest him. His favorite thing about high school, he said, the teachers are nice. I like that. And he looks forward to going to Miss Rose's English 1 class. He had her in the 6th grade, and there's a comfort zone in there with somebody that you love and like. Destiny Gandy. She's involved in athletics of all sorts. Right now she's playing volleyball and running cross country. And when the time comes, she'll play basketball, softball, and run track in the spring. I'd say that's a full load. She's involved with the Key Club and enjoys that because she serves her community through it. Outside of school, she likes to read a nice book. Sometimes go out and run a couple miles. I do not do that. She said she enjoys watching TV with her siblings and just hanging out with the family. When I asked her about her favorite thing about the high school, she said the dress code is awesome. And as far as her favorite teacher, she mentioned Mr. Davis right off the bat in Algebra 1. She said he is very cool. Another thing she liked about the high school, she said she loves the way that when you're transitioning from class to class, there are times when you get to go outside. Alexander Lualua and Destiny Gandy are freshman students of the month. If you get to take a picture with him, it's special. You ready? Thank you. I do. You're good. All right.
Good evening. Transportation Department, I think, is full of selfless and dedicated individuals. That's what I've come to know. And Bruce Smith is at the top of that. Bruce is a graduate of Mineola High School from 19 something or other, whenever I was quite a small child. This is 4th year bus driver for MISD. Let me just tell you, he's a retired Marine Warrant Officer, and he has never lost that Marine Corps lead the way. He's the first one there every morning. Of course, his route's got to go out first, but Bruce is I can always go to his bus, and it's the high standard of cleanliness. If I'm on there when the students are on there, the high level of respect, he's got the standard everybody else has to follow. Great rapport with students, parents, staff. He volunteered to step into our CTE when we unfortunately lost our previous driver. He volunteered for that. He's a trip driver for band on Fridays and Saturdays, the cheerleaders, various grade level events in the spring, and highly respected by the Mineola ISD drivers and the rest of the department, and even me, even though I do a lot of kidding with him. He's a great guy. Support staff of the month, Bruce Smith.
Bill, is he in charge of the glitter cleaner?
I guess Mr. Dawson and I are the only two that can say we knew you when you were in high school.
I met Mr.
You probably
Dawson
longer
when
than
I was a
Mr.
freshman.
Yeah.
Freshman.
I met you when I was a sophomore.
Okay, he wins.
So you've been out there for 20 years now?
Oh, yeah.
And we also have a plaque from Texas Farm Bureau, with a gift certificate from. Oh, leadership. Yeah.
Wait a second, I'm missing something. Where's the check for the state? Thank you.
Hello again. It is my pleasure to recognize our team member of the month, Miss Kelsey Young. Officially, Kelsey is our ISS teacher on campus, but she does so much more than that. She's crucial in building relationships with students, becoming their accountability partner in goal setting, and being an all-around advocate for students. She works with our kindergarten by pulling intervention groups as well as students with special needs, and shines in all areas of the school and our campus. And we are extremely blessed to have you on our campus, especially with your flexibility and positive outlook for our students. One of my favorite stories to tell about her is last year, one of our sweet kinders was really struggling with school, and I tried every trick I possibly had, and I finally just turned to her and said, fix this, just whatever you got, and she did. And that's what's so wonderful about her. No matter the student, she meets them where they are, finds tools to incentivize them, and is truly an advocate for all of them. And we are getting our degree to become a teacher. Yes. So she's going to be a phenomenal one. So Miss Kelsey Young, super proud of you.
All this is that we used to do, right? Another plaque from Texas Farm Bureau. Thank you. There we go.
Thank you. Is that it? Oh, yeah. Is that the whole report? Okay. Item G, consider information and action items from the executive session. I don't think there was. I'm sorry.
Dr. Abbott, members of the board, we have one letter of resignation from Ms. Crystal Barton, Wood County Co-op and Educational Diagnostician.
We need to accept it. Okay. Is there a motion to accept? Mr. Watkins, seconded by Mrs. Callenbaum. All those in favor? Thank you. All right. Mr. Bjork, financial reports.
I don't know if y'all remember way back on August 31st. The report that we gave then is pretty much the final report that's going to be now. You'll see just a little bit, David. Oh, there you go. Where it says local maintenance designated, those three amounts there added up to $7.6 million on 9/1/2021. So we ended up August 31st, 2022. See the total down there, $7.619 million. So we increased the fund balance by about $18,000. And remember when we talked, we're using ESSER money to supplant what we could. And the reason we didn't have more than that is because of us finishing the manhole project. That was another $300,000 that took to finish that project from the year before when it started. So all in all, it wound up being a good year. TEA is still working on our reimbursement. They do it in runs. They run so much information starting in the summer, and they'll do it almost to the end of September, and then we'll get our refund, and they'll keep running it for another 2 years, looking for mistakes and errors. But we're destined. We're destined to get what I said we were going to, that $500,000. Any questions?
So, thanks. Tax collection?
Tax collection. We were up 0.02% for the current tax year, including delinquencies, that 100% 0.12. It actually was down 0.27 from the prior year, but we did get to 100%. Some of those delinquencies that caused us not to get collected in September, we've already collected some in October. That's going to be in the new tax year.
Okay.
Attendance is starting off good. See, the first day of school, we had 1,614 students. We were up 26 students by this time. We had an increase in primary of 9 students, 7 in elementary, 9 in middle school, and 1 in high school, ending up with 1,640. And you can see the year before we had 1,633. So enrollment's not everything, attendance is everything.
Right.
But enrollment helps to start with.
Are we still using that attendance program that we approved last year? We still will be? Okay. All right. Thank you. Item I is public forum. I checked. I don't think there was anybody on there. So we'll go straight to the action items. Item J1 is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting on August 15th and the special board meetings held on August 31st and September 8th? Motion by Mr. Dossett, second by Mrs. Etheridge. All those in favor? Thank you. J2 on the agenda is to discuss, consider, and take action on the district and campus improvement plan.
Dr. Abbott.
Oh, what?
Dr. Abbott, members of the board, included in your board packet are the district and campus improvement plans. I'm going to be very brief on my part for the district improvement plan, and that centers around 3 academic goals. We continually talk about these goals. This is the information that we try to really hard to monitor these numbers closely. I'll start with goal number 1. The percentage of students in grade 3 who perform on or above grade level in reading will increase to 5% above the state level by the year 2025 and maintain grade level performance through graduation. You'll see that there's a lot of performance objectives. There's strategies underneath that. 3rd grade reading is that first door that we have to go through academically to achieve success. If we're not reading on grade level by grade 3, we're in trouble. All the research tells us that. So that is an extremely heavy focus to make sure that our kids can prepare themselves academically for what else is to come. That's goal number 1. And speaking of, and if you were here for the Senate Bill 1566 training, when we were looking at those numbers, if you backtrack a few years ago, those numbers have improved significantly for our kids. That was a big part of our elementary campus moving from an F to a B in just one accountability cycle when they actually started taking accountability. We knew we got there last year, but this year, because it's official, that is a clear indicator of the type of success that they're having at the elementary and at the primary school, preparing those kids. So that's goal number 1. I'll jump down to goal number 2. This is the second doorway that all the research says paves the way for a kid to be able to graduate on time, and that is the percentage of students in Algebra 1 scoring approaches or above on the Algebra 1 end of course will be 10% above the state level by the year 2025. If you looked at the comparisons between what we were doing Region 7-wise, what we've done in the district, and what that comparison looks like state-wise, we are very much ahead of the game. And we want to continue to be ahead of the game and making sure that we're meeting those requirements. Our kids that are taking Algebra 1 in 8th grade, I mean, they're exceeding expectations. They're doing extremely well. Our kids that are freshmen that are taking Algebra 1, they're having significant higher levels compared to the region and also the state. And so that's goal number 2. And then jumping down to goal number 3, this centers around your CCMR, graduation, career, college, military readiness. And goal number 3 is by the end of 2025, all graduating seniors will earn 1 CCMR point. This is the name of the game when it comes to accountability. How those are configured, the Texas Workforce Commission releases these high lists, high demand, high paid jobs, and they start earning certifications and pathways towards achieving those. And so making sure that every one of those kids at least has 1 CCMR point before they get out is critical. Also, the military component, that's a big piece of it. That a kid enlists in the military, we get to count that as well as far as being prepared after graduation. So those are the 3 goals that we have. Those are the ones that we're constantly monitoring. Like I said, there's a ton of strategies that the campuses will be carrying out underneath those as we continue to work towards those goals and try as hard as we possibly can to maintain our A rating in the district. So, any questions that I can answer on the district improvement plan?
Good.
If not, we can turn it over to, who wants to go first? Mike, you want to go first? High school?
Sure, because it mirrors the district
Yes, sir.
plan.
It's a maze.
Our campus plan mirrors last year's plan, and it walks right along with the district plan itself. We have 4 basic goals. The first 3 are exactly what he was talking about, but we don't look at 3rd grade ELAR at our level. We're looking at English 1 and 2. and maintaining 10% above state average there in 25, which is similar to the second goal, which is Algebra 1 being 10%. Third goal has to do with CCMR that he talked about. And the fourth goal is about providing an educational program that is well-rounded and meets all the needs of the kids across the board. And if you'll look under there, there's about 39 performance goals and strategies to help us meet those. If you have any questions about that, be glad to touch that. But we've been very successful over the last 2 years, and we plan to continue on.
Questions? Thanks.
You bet.
So in the middle school campus plan, we just had like maybe 3 major changes. Our scores were much higher than our goal, so we way surpassed that. So I wanted to make something that was more challenging, but yet also very measurable as well. So on the very first one, to kind of mirror with the district plan, it was basically for reading STAR, the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades will maintain a passing rate of 85% or higher. So that's kind of where we're at. We've made it higher than that already in some, but then in others we're lower. We have a change in our STAR testing with online, so we're working on that too. So wanted to put that in place as well. Also wanted to be aware of the high focus groups. It looks like the accountability will start really concentrating on ESL and SPED and calling it a high focus group. So I wanted to make sure that we were thinking about that as well. So we're going to continue growth. Want to look at that individually by receiving a STAR progress measure of expected or accelerated growth, and never the limited growth. And then also in math, we wanted to make sure that we maintain a passing rate of 85% or higher. So that was basically the main changes that we have.
Go back to the growth one.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Right there, high focus.
Yep.
Can you? Oh, it's on mine, but it's not on. Sorry. Performance objective 2.
Goal 1.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't jiving with y'all's. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it shows basically on there whenever they get their STAR test back, it'll show limited and expected and what is it called? How was it? Thank you. Accelerated. So we just want to make sure that we're not limited, that we are growing those kids all the time.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Sure.
We had major success with ours last year, so we kind of are rolling with. We did adjust numbers a little bit on that reading goal because we get a new group in every year, and this group of kids this year in 3rd grade are COVID kinders. I'm right about that, right? So primary has already done a fabulous job moving the mark up for these guys, but there are some significant gaps. So we adjusted that just a little bit, but not much. My teachers have worked really hard to figure out exactly how to look at the data and pull those small groups so that they're able to really target the instruction. We've implemented something new called Win Time this year that you may see throughout the campus improvement plan that's going to help us. It stands for literally what I need. And so it's some dedicated time for the students to be able to work on things that they specifically need to work on to grow their success in the different content areas. So that's pretty much the same in goals 1 and 2. I don't believe we changed much in goal 3. We're trying really hard to incorporate more family time on our campus this year to get the community more involved. I feel like just as an administrator, I came in at a very weird time and I didn't really get to connect with our parents and our community as much as I would have liked the first couple of years. So we're going to work really hard to get them in the building and build some more community. So, yep, I think that's actually goal 2. Goal 3 is math, I believe. So, anyway, any questions?
What kind of activities do you think you'll have?
So we have open house tomorrow night, but we're in the spring, in the fall, we're going to do a literacy night. And then in the spring, we'll do a math night just to kind of get us started. In addition to all of our little fun runs. We usually have the Grinch come on a Christmas day. That's fun. So just opening the doors more.
I know him.
Yeah. I know him.
Me and him are buddies.
Every year. He busts out somehow.
Security, we had security issue.
No, I know.
You can't just let anybody. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
They should all be scared.
Yeah, there's a few, you're like, come this door. Hello again, everybody. All right, primary school campus plan mirrors last year's as well. Our first one is looking at our reading. So we ended last year with 66% of students reading on level or above. So we look for a 3% increase every year. And by the end of this year, we want 69%. But from 2020 to 21 went from 60% to 66%. So we're seeing a lot of traction and a lot of growth there as well. Goal 2 is our math goal, which we typically perform stronger in math simply because at the younger ages it's a lot of computation, and then as they get into second grade, reading comes into play with math as well. And we ended last year at 80% on grade level or above. And then our big goal, I would say, for primary is goal 3. Yes, reading and math, we keep the main things, but goal 3 is all about our social emotional learning. And what we've seen with all of our kids that have come through this pandemic is there are some skills that are lacking there because they've been at home, they haven't been able to be around other kids. So starting there, especially with our 3 and 4 year olds, to build that social support for them is huge for our campus. That's our 3 main goals. Any questions?
Questions?
I always love the pajama night, the
Oh.
pajama reading nights, too. That was always fun.
I had one ask today if he could wear his pajamas to school. It's like, well, we will have a pajama day. Don't you worry. And bring his dog, which I'm all about.
And having the Grinch take pictures with the dog.
Yeah. Well, thanks to the principals for updating the reports and the plans, and kudos and thank you to the teachers and the committees for working, for having, just building on the successes from last year and taking us into the new. So we certainly appreciate that. Do I have a motion to approve the district and campus improvement plans as presented? Mr. Watkins, seconded by Mr. Ballard. All those in favor? Thank you. Mr. Mize, discuss, consider, and take action on the Mineola ISD Emergency Operations Plan.
Dr. Abbott, members of the board, this is an updated template for our EOP that has been completed. This has been adopted by our Safety and Security Committee, and it's ready for board approval. Chief, any updates on the EOP that you'd like to touch on?
The reason you're seeing, I know y'all just approved the EOP, but the Texas School Safety Center came out with an updated template. Actually, it's a completely new template. That's what we have here, and this is what they're wanting from us. All the districts in the state have to do this one right here, so this will bring us in compliance, and we'll be able to submit it to the state, I think within sometime in
October 12th.
12th, we have to get this submitted to the state. Any questions?
Does this carry over from the meeting you had last Wednesday?
Yes, so they
We
approved
approved
it
it,
last Wednesday.
yeah.
And then now y'all are seeing.
Okay.
It just basically has all the language that the state's asking for.
Okay.
There will be, so you know, I think there's 12 or 13 annexes that are gonna start coming out in December. And as they release those, I'll complete them and bring them to y'all.
Okay. Thanks. Is there a motion to approve the plan as presented? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Dossett. All those in favor? Thanks. Discuss, consider, and take action on the interlocal agreement for RTI Data Specialist Partnership position with Winona ISD. Mr. Mize.
Mr. President, members of the board, this action item, if you've ever seen the movie Moneyball, this is kind of how I define Kelly Blaylock's position in what she does. It's numbers, numbers, and more numbers. And she helps calculate our campus averages, our district scores, and she is very, very good at what she does. She helps out several districts. When I was superintendent in Winona, we hired her from Maybank to come over and help us after Dr. Marshall retired as superintendent there. And she works with a handful of districts doing this very same thing that she does for us. And highly recommend we renew this MOU with them.
Is there a motion to approve that agreement? Mrs. Campbell, seconded by Mrs. Etheridge. All those in favor? Thanks. Discuss, consider, and take action on a resolution regarding the extracurricular status of 4-H organizations.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is an MOU that we've had from year to year with our 4-H program that is operating here in Wood County. This allows us for kids to participate in those activities, and those activities count as extracurricular programs when they do have to miss school for any type of event. I can't really think, principals, y'all might have to help me out with this. There's not a whole lot of days, I believe, that 4-H misses, and so it's not ever really that big of an issue. But if they do miss, it is an extracurricular activity for our kids to go and participate. So.
We've had that every year.
Yeah.
You do? A motion to approve this resolution. Motion by Mr. Morgan, seconded by Mrs. Campbell. All those in favor? Thanks. Discuss, consider, and take action on an adjunct faculty agreement with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Services.
And Dr. Abbott, this is the second part of that agreement with 4-H. So when our kids do go and they participate with 4-H, they actually have someone who could be a classroom teacher. They have these credentials, they have bachelor's degrees. They serve as the adjunct faculty, as the extension agent when our kids are with them. So that's just another part of that agreement.
What do they do that makes them have to have an adjunct?
I guess as far as supervision purposes, when they're with them, they are considered I guess, classroom teacher. They could go teach ag. I mean,
under the supervision of under the supervision, the students have to do it.
And that's at no cost to the.
No, not at all.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this agreement? Motion by Mr. Ballard, seconded by Mr. Dossett. All those in favor? Thanks. Mr. Bjork, discuss, consider, and take action on the high bid received for property parcels 53620, 53621, 53622, 53623, and 53624.
They actually have these grouped in two sets. 53625 is by itself, and then the other 5 are put together.
Okay.
These are lots that are all together. The first lot, that 25, I believe it is lot number 13, and the others are 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. They're being done in two groups as well, I'm sure because of the way bids came. We had a $2,000 bid on parcel 53625, and then there was a $2,500 bid on the other 5 together. Now, I noticed on here that on the comptroller's value, so it's individual lots were valued $1,480 apiece. So of course the bid is less than those 5 put together, but it puts them in all over road.
What was the total on the 5?
2,500. And then on that one lot by itself was 2,000.
And this was submitted to the tax attorneys, and they're turning around and they're making a recommendation.
Yes. Have to go to us and the city and the county.
We're first?
I believe we are.
Okay.
City approved about an hour ago.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay. But like you said, it gets it back on the tax roll. Is there a motion to accept the high bid for the 5 parcels?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Campbell, seconded by Mr. Ballard. All those in favor? Thanks. And is there a motion to accept the high bid on parcel 53625. Motion by Mr. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Watkins. All those in favor? Thank you. So, the purposes for which this meeting was called being completed, I declare this meeting adjourned.